Welcome to episode 2 of CBS-RLT Academic Tech Talk. So first of all, I want to say thank you for, I know some of you have watched this and you have actually changed your behavior, actually emailing us at cbs-rlt@umn.edu instead of emailing us directly. And if you want to talk to us directly, you might say, this is for Callie, actually. And I'll just recap that goes right into our ticket system, doesn't go to centralized help, and it's just for Callie and I to document what we're doing. But anyway, back again, we have the great and powerful Callie Ann Binkowski, academic technologist extraordinaire. So here we go, Callie. Tell me about your week a little bit. I mean, what's going on? Anything?
Let's see. I have had some computer emergencies, which has been interesting. So, well, maybe I could tell you a little bit about some of the computers that we manage here at CBS. So last time we talked a little bit about the computers that we have as supplementary classroom computers, the ones in Brunix and in MCB. We actually manage more computers than that for our teaching purposes. We have a whole collection of computers that we manage in bioscience for our foundations level lab courses. We have a set of computers we manage in bioscience for our animal behavior class. Yeah, that's the animal behavior class. There are also some computers we manage over in MCB that are laptops. In MCB, we manage the thin clients. So these are computers like old school computers, you know, way back before my time, when a computer was as big as a room and you wanted to work with the computer, you had a monitor with a keyboard and it talked to that big computer in the other room. Sure. Then we went to personal computers where the whole thing was right there. What we now have in MCB is thin clients. They call them thin, not just, I mean, they're not really thin physically, but the idea is that they don't do much. They're not a real computer. They're a monitor with a keyboard that talks to the servers, and then everything runs on these servers. And it's a great way for us to give a desktop to our labs there that has all the software and everything that they use on it. So we do that in MCB. We also have a set of laptops because there's a few things that we can't use the thin clients for. So we have a set of laptops there that the labs use as well. Well, we've been trying to double check and make sure that all the software that goes on these computers is there and ready to go and working. And we're running into some issues. A lot of this, I think, is still just coming from, we're recovering from COVID, from our year off. You know, we had a lot of new computers we had to buy. We're on a schedule to replace computers, and we missed a year because we weren't on campus. So some of it is just that. Some of this has been the retirements and other things. So it's just been a lot of work getting all of that managed. I've actually recruited Evan. He's going to help me do it this summer. We try and do one big update in the summer that gets all the software and everything updated. So, I mean, so that's a possibility. If you've got a lab where you want to be using more computer devices in there, this is something you could contact us about and see if there's an option for you. So there's been things like that. The other thing that happened this week was eLab Journal, which is another piece of software we're using. This is actually an electronic lab notebook. I don't know a huge number about these, but it's basically a digital notebook. We have quite a few research labs using it. CBS is purchasing in bulk to get a discount. If you are interested in converting your lab from paper notebooks to electronic notebooks that are searchable and they're archived and they're secure and like, okay, that's all I really know about it, but they're cool. You could email cbs-rlt@umn.edu and we can have somebody talk to you about how to get your lab accounts so that you can use an electronic lab notebook.
How many people are using it now?
I think, okay, well, we have all of our foundations level lab courses, not all of them. The second year foundation levels lab course is using it. That's 3004. So there are like 300 students in that. And then we've got one of our PMB courses is using it. I think it's a plant botany course is using it. And then as far as research labs, we'd have to talk to Mike Walton, our boss, but I think they're like over a dozen labs already using it. And he's just had another request for another one, so he'll be purchasing new licenses soon for them too.
Then correct me if I'm wrong. This is like the lab notebook, online notebook sort of thing, and it's just for the semester. It's not to keep forever, correct? For each
The
student?
way we use it in the classes, yes. But the way it is set up, the way you use it in a research lab, like those notebooks never disappear. You give people access, you can remove their access when they leave. You still have full access to the notebook as the PI. Like none of that stuff, it's there, saved forever and ever and ever and ever. Yeah, and the pricing is pretty reasonable. We are getting a discount because we're also using it in some of our classes. So if you have a lab class where you want the students to have the experience of using an electronic lab notebook, which is going to be the modern way things are going, and you want to give them that experience because the students in your lab are going to go on and do research and that kind of thing. Yeah, you could contact us and we can see about getting you in on that. And there is a charge per user for any research labs that are using it. But we've got a lot using it and they're very happy with it. It has a ton of functionality. I didn't even talk about it besides just like notebook stuff. So like, okay, let me just try and explain it quick. Text, images, graphs, files, it does file storage. So anything you would need to just document the experiments and the research that you're doing. But beyond that, it can do inventory. You can set up storage locations. You can set up automatic protocols. So like if somebody does this, you will know that this solution is now 5 milliliters less of that solution, so it can track that kind of stuff. I mean, you can set it up to do some really amazing things. I'm not sure how extensively our labs are using it, our research labs, but those that are using it, everybody's using it in that lab. That's kind of how they've set it up.
What fantastic
cool
stuff. So if you have more interest in that, probably just ask Callie about that. And
you can email CBS-RLT because then I can hand it off to the people who actually know how to set it up.
We'll probably give it to Callie and you'll probably end up talking to Callie in the end, but yes, to help us document, you go to CBS-RLT.
Yeah, boy, we're really beating that one with a stick.
Yeah, we are. So thank you for that. I have something in Canvas that I want to share, and it's just a new interface thing that's hiding in plain sight. So I'm going to share my browser here, and I'm going to go into my Sandbox course right here, and I just want to show you that this red menu bar, it does disappear sometimes when you go to like gradebook or something like that, but now we can make it disappear by hitting this little 3 lines here. I believe it's called a hamburger. Some people call it a hamburger.
I think they call it the hamburger menu.
Think of it like disappears.
Bun, patty, bun.
Right. So if I open it now, so on this page, on the home page, it's probably not that big of a deal to have it here. But if I'm going to modules or to quizzes or something like that, and I want it out of the way, I can go to modules and I can just make it disappear. Poof. And I can bring it back whenever I want. Now the thing is, you have to remember how you made it disappear, because now if I want to jump to settings, it's not there. And I know it seems really simple, but it's there. And what can actually happen is if you have this collapse and I go to a different course and I'm going to jump to the dashboard. I'm going to jump into Callie's Sandbox course here.
It's thinking about it, isn't it? Of course it's thinking.
Okay, so now I jump to Callie's Sandbox course, and I just want to show you that it's still collapsed. So it follows my browser.
Oh.
So I might have forgot that I collapsed it, and I'm wondering where this menu went. So that's all you got to do is remember to go back there, and you're going to open it back up. So.
I did not realize it carried across. Hey, can you go to modules? Speaking of collapse, I feel like we should show people this. This is one that I think we often assume people know, including students, but many of them don't. Up at the top there, I have a module named Turn It In After the Fact Testing. And there's that little downward arrow right next to it.
Yep.
Look at that little downward arrow. This is how you collapse modules. Modules are one of the ways students are really used to seeing content on Canvas. But by the end of the semester, you're scrolling to the bottom. If you just collapse the modules as you go past them, your scroll shrinks significantly. So see, now you're already up to January 20th, you know, so
Very
if you're
good
going by week, you can collapse it and they stay collapsed until you reopen them. You just click on the carrot again if you want them open. And that, you know, if you're ever on Canvas with your students and like showing them someplace, it is worth showing them that trick, because I bet there's like 20% of them who have not figured out that they can do that.
Well, fantastic. So I think we'll wrap this up. We want to keep it short unless we got something, I don't know.
Burning?
Something.
I don't have anything burning.
All right. So, so right now we're looking at probably doing these things like every 2 weeks. We'll see how that goes. We're not ending to do any hard, fast rules, so we can make up the rules as we go. I love that part. So,
yep. And if you have a topic for us, email Evan directly, because that's not a ticket. And then you can talk to Evan directly.
Absolutely.
And bring it up or find somebody who knows something about it.
You have suggestions, you'd like to be on here, or yes.
Yeah.
Just as Kelly said. So thank you very much, Kelly. And we'll talk to you in a couple weeks. Well, we'll talk to you offline. All right.
See you later, everyone.